I just want to talk a little bit about young people, about school students, and the pressure that students are under nowadays. And that pressure comes from a lot of angles. It's schoolwork, it's friends, it's expectation that they should get into a certain university, it's expectation that they should look a certain way and dress a certain way and kind of fit in. And there's a few quotes from your book. You say only 4% of young people experienced a good transition from child to adult services when they leave school. 75% of mental health issues start before the age of 18. And 90% of children experience stigma and discrimination as a result of mental ill health. So, and another point that you brought in that's quite interesting is you talked earlier about bringing it into the curriculum, bringing mental health more firmly into the curriculum. And an example you gave in the book is that former Prime Minister Winston Churchill suffered heavily with depression. He called it his black dog. But we didn't learn about that at school. We learned about the wars, and we learned about probably the Nazis or some Russian history. But there is a clear way that we could embed into the curriculum, or just weave it in what people are already learning, how certain political decisions, for example, are influenced by somebody's kind of psychology.
Absolutely. And I know actually it's funny because obviously you've had Natasha Devon on here before, and she again is really passionate about this, and so myself and Natasha are actually working on trying to get mental health embedded into the curriculum, and going to schools and saying, why are you not doing this? As we're talking about creativity, that's lost in schools now. I mean, I was talking to a school, I can't remember when it was, about 6 months ago, and they were saying, we've had to cut, drama, art. They're not even doing the school play this year because they can't afford it.
We had sort of 3 music teachers at our school when we were there, and now there's 1. And there was 2 drama teachers, and now there's 1. And we actually had at our school, the head of physics did the theatre because it was his passion, and he was incredible at it. He actually brought through Greg James from Radio 1. He was one of the guys that put him on, first guy to put him on a stage, and yet he taught physics. So there's a lot of teachers going beyond the call of duty to put these things on, but there's definitely major cutbacks that are happening. Less people choosing GCSE music, less people taking up an instrument. This thing that, having coming from a privileged background allows you to learn an instrument, and otherwise you might not. And
it's not. It's not right. It's not fair. There's so much pressure. So my youngest niece is 4, and she had her parents' evening a few weeks ago, and my brother was telling me, the teachers were saying she's not good at this, she's not good at that, she needs to work harder on this. She's 4 years old.
Let her live a bit.
Seriously, what's going on? And it's not just the young people, it's the teachers as well that are feeling the pressure because of these stupid league tables and the pressure with exams, and schools have got to be up to a certain standard, and I get it, I do get it, but it's just too much pressure, and things are being lost, like you say, the creativity side of things. I mean, again for me, doing the school plays every year was my highlight. It was my highlight. It was when times were tough, I was like, I've got the school plays to look forward to, and there's just all of it. It was so exciting. Getting the cast together and all feeling like a team, and getting to know people you didn't maybe know because they were in a different year or different. And the backstage and the costume and
it's a real community.
And it just makes me so sad that is being lost over the academic side of things. It's just they want to fit everyone into a box. It's like. When I was at school, we had different sets. So we had the lowest set. They even called it the bottom set. And at the time, I didn't really think about it. But now looking back, I was like, imagine what that feels like. You're in the bottom set for everything. The bottom, whereas other people were in the top set. There's just so much that is wrong, I think, with
and it seems like those opportunities then won't be there for certain people that might be there for others, I suppose.
Exactly. It's just I'd love to do a bit of a Jamie Oliver in terms of school and the academic side. Obviously, Jamie Oliver went in and looked at school food, nutrition, which is really important. We need to go in and also address kind of the academic side of things, because it's not working for everyone. We learn at different stages in different ways, and but no one puts that into consideration. It's just like, let's just lump everyone in here, and you need to be at this point here in the year, and you need to achieve this mark. And you know, something like maths in particular, like I was horrendous at maths, and it made me really very anxious. Going into math lessons was my worst nightmare, and I knew I would get things wrong, and everyone would be further ahead than me, and my teacher would get angry. And I remember, you know, I can't remember, I was like about 10 years old and bursting into tears because my teacher stood me up in a maths class and said, solve this equation, and in front of everyone I couldn't do it. She was come on. I was like, just burst into tears, and that's not right. Like, when I look back, like, that, you know, a young person should have to go through that. There's so much that needs to change. Right.